Hello and welcome to Jammu and Kashmir News Analysis. Today we are going to discuss news related to Jammu and Kashmir since 1st of September to 15th of September. The first news is about South Kashmir's apple orchards were devastated by the hailstorms. The second news is about the coverage of Ladli Beti schemes. And the third news is about the cloudburst which actually destroyed 30,000 fishes. There is some information about the water springs. Then there was a good article about the revival of Sufism in Kashmir. I also tried to address it in the news analysis itself. Then we have a statistics that says that 67% of the government schools are without computers in Srinagar. And then there was this article about the need of palliative care management service in Kashmir. So let's start. The first news is saying that Kashmir, South Kashmir particularly, the apple orchards actually faced a devastating hailstorm and winds. इसकी वजह से बहुत सारे क्रॉप्स जो हैं डिस्ट्रॉय हो चुके थे बट यहाँ पे व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ कंसर्न इज दैट द क्रॉप्स वेयर विदाउट एनी इंश्योरेंस कवर अगर हम बात करें इंश्योरेंस कवर की तो देयर इज ऑलरेडी ए स्कीम बाय द नेम ऑफ प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना and it was introduced in Jammu and Kashmir in 2016-17, but its implementation has been inconsistent. Now, the horticulture directors and various officials are saying that 2025 March se we will try to implement this scheme pan Jammu and Kashmir. Now, जितने भी orchards हैं, fruits हैं, horticulture, agriculture, all this is out of the ambit of crop insurance schemes. And अगर हम फ्रूट की बात करें ऑर्चर्ड्स की बात करें पर्टिकुलरली एप्पल ऑर्चर्ड्स की बात करें तो फ्रूट सेक्टर एक्चुअली कंट्रीब्यूट्स अराउंड 10% टू द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट एंड अगर इसमें कोई भी डिजास्टर इसको इम्पैक्ट करता है तो पूरा जीडीपी डाउन हो जाएगा स्टेट का. Now, it's also saying the article was also saying that due to the climate change and unpredictable weather, like hailstorms, heavy rains, we need such a scheme. We need an insurance scheme for the crops. The next news is about Ladli Beti scheme, which has actually reached 1.6 lakh beneficiaries. And it's being said that there has been a tenfold increase. Initially, जब इस scheme को launch किया गया था, it had only 24 crores, but now it's worth rupees 847 crores. What is this Ladli Beti scheme? This is a scheme which provides assistance to underprivileged families for education and welfare of their daughters. इसमें क्या होता है फॉर एग्जाम्पल जब एक बेटी पैदा होती है तो व्हाट द पेरेंट्स डू इज दैट वो हर मंथ उस बेटी के अकाउंट में दे डिपॉजिट ₹1000 टिल 14 years तक जब तक वो गर्ल 14 years की हो जाती है एंड देन दे गेट अ क्यूमुलेटिव डिपॉजिट एट द एज ऑफ 21 and that is approximately 6.50 lakhs. And ये जो भी amount होती है, it is directly transferred into the account of the girl itself. Now there is a tragic news about 30,000 fishes which died due to cloudburst in Ramban, and the reason was load and resulting stress from it. So climate change का impact is on the marines and the fisheries also. Now, there was an article about water spring. What catched my interest was that a study revealed that 87% of the spring water can be used for drinking in Kashmir. But due to the proper management of springs, due to the absence of the proper management of the springs, these springs are actually losing their carrying capacity. जैसे बहुत सारे लेक्स हैं, अचार लेक है, खुलसाहर लेक, गिलसर लेक, ये श्रीनगर में एज अ वेटलैंड हुआ करते थे बट नाउ दे आर श्रंक. अगर देखें अंचार लेक का आप अगर व्यू देखें बिफोर एंड आफ्टर इट हैज श्रंक अ लॉट. तो these springs are actually not recharged. They are actually polluted and there is sewage, fertilizer influx, deforestation, siltation, constructions and climate change, and it has resulted into drinking water scarcity across Srinagar also. Where they have mentioned, the article mentioned about two schemes that can be used for the rejuvenation of the springs. One is the Mission Amrit Sarovar and the other is the Nagin Lake Conservation Organization, which is particularly for, of course, Nagin Lake. Now there was an article about the revival of Sufism in Kashmir. If we see the history of Sufism in Kashmir, then it's being said that the earliest Sufi in Kashmir is to have arrived from Turkestan. And the saint was belonging to Suharwadi order in 13th century. And his name was Sayyid Sharfuddin Ahmad Abdul Rahman. Sorry, Sayyid Sharfuddin Abdul Rahman. जो Sayyid Sahab the, he arrived in 13th century and he was responsible for the establishment of Sufism in Kashmir. And he is also being remembered famously by the name of Hazrat Bulbul Shah. And it is being believed that he arrived उस टाइम जो किंग हुआ करते थे he was known by the name of King Suhadeva in 1301 to 1320 and it's being considered to be the first saint who sowed the seed of Islam in Kashmir. The next Sufi after Bulbul Shah was a 14th century Iranian Kubrawi saint Mir Saeed Ali Hamdani, also known as Shah Hamdan. And what Shah Hamdan Rahmatullah Allah did, he along with 700 disciples actually came to Kashmir and spread Islam here. And this is how this was followed by the Rishi movement. Earlier there was Soharwadi order, then there was Hamdani Sahab aaye the, then after was the Rishi order by Sheikh Nuruddin Noorani Rahmatullah Alayh, who is also known as Nund Rishi, and he was influenced by a female rebel saint, which is known by the name of Laldet. And there are certain other Rishi orders also, Rupa Bhavani, Shankar Razdan, Bhagwan Gopinath Ji, Zaikak, and Manas Razdan. These are some other Rishi orders which are present in Kashmir. Now there is an important statistics that 67% of the government schools are without computers in Srinagar. And without computers, without ICT labs, it has led to a lot of literacy hurdles for the children. अगर हम बात करें गवर्नमेंट की तो इस बार गवर्नमेंट हैज सेपरेटली earmarked budgets for ICT labs and smart classroom labs. But abhi only 22% of the schools are having a functional internet facility. And recently there was also an MOU being signed in which it was being said that the schools can have connection from the BSNL network. Now, there is a news about the palliative care. Palliative care is actually a care which is a specialized form of care that is provided for symptom relief, comfort, and support to individuals with serious illness. For example, खुदा न खास्ता किसी को कैंसर हो जाता है, तो कैंसर में they need an emotional support, they need a of course they need a curative care, but in addition to this they need an emotional support, they need a spiritual support, so that all comes under the palliative care management because it's a long terminal illness. इसके लिए you have to be very resilient, so they require a different set of care. So that is actually called as palliative care management. And currently it's being said there is not as such established palliative care management service in Kashmir, and we need it. So and that is all for the news since last 15 days. We will be back on 30th of September with the news analysis for the whole month. Till then, have a good time ahead.